You are listening to the Julie Parker Practice Success Podcast, where you discover management insights and strategies for your successful dental practice. There are also interviews with key people in the industry who have advice and services to help you and your team achieve great success. Welcome to this episode of the Julie Parker Practice Success Podcast. And I have got the most delightful guest for us today. I've recently been introduced to her by another dental buddy in the industry, and her name is Shika Darshani. How are you?
Good, thanks, Julie. How are you today?
I'm really well. Now, Shika used to be a dental assistant and has been a dental hygienist for a number of years. And she's also had the kind of life that is now leading her down the path of doing some mindset coaching and some motivational speaking too. So you can start to get a sense of why I think she's going to be a magnificent guest today. So Shika, first of all, tell everybody a little bit about your journey into the dental industry and how it's evolved.
Hi, Julie. Hi, everyone. Actually, I started as a dental nurse. Never thought I will be working in a dental industry in my young days. But I just got that part to start something in my journey as I was married, had kids. That was the easiest part for me to start with. I did dental nursing for good 10 years. Within that time, I was a mom as well as had so much fire in me to serve more. I knew dental nursing is not the only thing I will do. I mean, dental nursing is an amazing profession. You know, nobody can work in a dental field without a DA. So I was feeling really good to be part of that team and running it. But I still had hunger to go on the other side of the chair and serve my clients much more in more ways, I guess. And that's what inspired me to get into Hygienist. I think when 8th year of my DA work, I got into Hygienist and then studied Hygienist. And I just feel amazing the opportunities I get to serve my clients. And in a year, it will be about 2 decades I've been in dental industry. So I've seen every bit of dentistry in my life. So that's what is inspiring me to now inspire other, other colleagues in dental industry to how to go with situations, how to deal with things. And I think that's what is my hunger is growing to serve people in that way, not just my patients or my clients in the chair, but also my colleagues who work with me and they day to day go with struggles of, communication and all those things. So that is leading me to do motivational speaking now and coaching.
Fantastic. It's a very exciting space to move into. And we only move into those sort of spaces when we feel like we've got something to contribute. And you've certainly had a number of your colleagues in the past come to you and you've had certain discussions and they've come back into your world again and said, that really made an enormous difference to me. I think sometimes we can fail to see, or it's not obvious to us in the moment, that we are having an impact on the people around us. And I love the fact that you know that you have got insights and strategies that can really help people, not just in their dental space, but in their own personal lives as well. So tell us a little bit about your journey and what's made you kind of move into this more mindset coaching and motivational speaking space.
Exactly. You're very much on the spot there that yes, with your experience, you really don't realize. Me personally, I didn't knew that I'm coaching someone. I didn't know how much I'm inspiring my colleagues, my DAs who are working with me till they came to me and say, oh, thank you for helping me out with this thing. And I thought it was just a human nature. I just knew something, so I have passed on. I didn't knew that it is something called coaching, to be honest. Till I needed a coaching in my own personal life. Everybody has their own personal journey and professional journey. So in my personal journey, I decided I should go on coaching. And then I realized, oh, this is what it's called coaching. I have been coaching people. So that was very, interesting thing I found about myself. And then I started believing, yes, I have helped people. And I have seen my colleagues growing from where they are to where they are now. And for them to come and acknowledge me had really given me an insight and belief that, yes, I am empowering people. I am, helping them out they are the ones who are doing it, but I'm just sharing my knowledge, my experience, what I've gone through in the situation. And that's how you kind of coach people, it's what your experience is, what you went through in the situation, and then you give them your opinion. How did you manage? How did you survive in that situation? And I guess that's what is helping other people now. And I started to, and I always had a hunger to go on a stage and talk about my journey so that somebody makes a better choice. I wish somebody would have knocked my back 10 years, 15 years back, so I would have made better choices in my life rather than going through all the things I went through, you know. But at least I've gone through it and now I've got the experience. So I would like to go up there and inspire people and, you know, let them know how important it is to have self-belief, how important it is to have courage to make that move, because it's only you who's going to do it. Nobody else can do it for me, for anybody, you know, no matter how much motivational speakers you're going to hear, no matter how much coaching you're going to do. But if you're not going to start believing in yourself, you will never have a courage to move on in your life. That's
That's
my
a really
belief.
nice line. If you're not going to believe in yourself, and you know, our beliefs, we know that our beliefs are really established when we're little children. I mean, there's
True.
even, you know, indicators that it's developed in utero and, you know, and even passed down from generation to generation as well. And we don't usually go down the path of wondering what our internal belief system is until we kind of come up against something in life. That something could be a challenging situation, or it could be an aspiration to reach a lofty goal. And regardless of how well we feel like we're managing it in the moment, we're just not getting to that next step. And this is where a lot of people start to think, well, what is going on here? And the more they reach out to other people, read other books, go along to courses and things, they start to get a sense of there's stuff going on for me subconsciously that's preventing me from moving further down this particular path. And when you consider, if you are a boss and you've got a group of people under your employ, if you're a manager in the same kind of situation, if you're a parent and you have children, this is what you're doing. You know, some people are really inspired by that journey of, let me deliver insights and different ways of thinking, a different perspective that may help you get to a more useful outcome. And so everyone is coaching to a certain degree. A lot of people are coaching to some sort of certain degree.
Yeah.
And it's such, for me, I've always considered it to be a very empowering space, not as a coach, just the coaching concept. I think it's a very empowering space because if you're having troubles with life, it's a big step from just struggling, and then reaching out to an actual therapist or a psychologist or psychiatrist or something. That's a huge, big step. So everybody else that doesn't want to go down that path, and I think that path can also have a number of challenges to it as well. It feels like it's very concentrated on addressing the past in order to move on, where I feel like coaching is a lot more about, let's see where we want to aspire to be like and create the steps moving forward from today onwards. And the coaching space is such a beautiful space for people who they don't see that there's anything that they need to fix. They just know there's an easier way to achieve a happier, more balanced, more empowered life. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why I love coaching so much.
Very, very true. You're exactly spot on there. You know, psychologists, counseling, psychiatric, they all have their place. It has got a right place and used in a right manner. But coaching is something very different from them. It's just having a communication with somebody, you know. You just pour your heart out, your emotions out, and that's what exactly coaching it. If you really tell a person you need a counseling, it's the process to go and see a GP, to get a referral. Then people are a little bit hesitant to take that step, because it's a big leap in their life, believing, oh, now I have to go and see a counselor. You know what I mean? And also the blueprints they have of those things. Some people have really different beliefs in those things, and that makes them not actually feel better, but actually feel worse, that I have to take this leap now to go and see a GP and see a counselor or see a psychologist. It's actually their mindset and their belief starts to shallow there, because they are not, it actually their confidence also goes down, that, oh, now I've got a problem, I need to go and see someone like that. Whereas when it comes to coaching, it's actually a natural communication. You just speak to someone where it's a safe space, there's no judgment happening, you know, and just sometimes just pouring your heart out, pouring emotions out and speaking out about what you're going through, you find your own solution there. The coach does not give you anything there. She only guides you with that. The coach only guides you and gives you some ideas and tips and, you know, her experience or something. But you are the one who's going to find the solution in your own problem because you are speaking out. You're not drilling it in your own mind or heart, and you don't know what's going on. You have poured out, and you'll actually, when you're speaking it, you'll find the information. So that's where coaching is very different space, and you feel very comfortable to have that done. I think it is a very nicer way and calmer way for a person to move forward in their life, because our belief is, some people think this is our belief, but belief can be changed as we grow in our life. Our beliefs, our values changes. The only thing is that you, as an individual, you need to pause in your life and start realizing, what is your belief now? What are your values in your life now? What means more to you? What is your priority at this stage of your life? What was your priority when you were in your early 20s will not be the one when you're in your 30s, because your lifestyle has changed. Your journey has gone forward, so you need different beliefs, different purpose in your life, and you need to listen to yourself. You need to sit and prioritize your time to see, what is my purpose now? What do I want to do? What is my value? And that's where some people are still stuck in their old belief and old values, and they can't move on. And that's where the coaching comes, when you start to talk about it. Now, what do you want to do? Oh, I can't do this. This is what I want to do. And that's where the inspiration starts to come. Oh, my beliefs has changed. My purpose has changed. And I think that's where coaching helps a lot in life.
And I really think that the space of coaching in health, in the health industry, any modality of health industry, it's a crucial area, because I was speaking to an accountant, brilliant accountant for for dentists and dental practice owners a number of months ago now, maybe even a couple of years ago now. And he stated something to me that I thought, wow, that's extraordinarily impactful from a negative perspective. And this is why I think coaching is vital to have as an option for people within the health industry. If you are a health practitioner and you go down the path of thinking, I think I need some help with things, I want to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist, that psychiatrist or psychologist, under the AHPRA guidelines, if they hear anything from that practitioner that has them concerned, they must report it to AHPRA. And so you are putting your career on the line if you are going to go down that path. And a lot of practitioners are very aware of this. And so there has to be another option for them to go to if they feel like that they could be going down a path that's going to lead to unhappiness and distress and anxiety, depression, etc. They've got to have another path to go. And so coaching is crucial. So with your particular journey through, the ups and downs of your life, did you get a coach, or were you interested in that space? What kind of led you down this mindset path?
I definitely went that journey, because, as I said, my realization started coming. Sometimes you have everybody has issues in their life. Nobody's life is perfect, and that's fairy tale. Everybody has to go ups and downs. That's what life is, I believe. But when some situations comes where you really struggle to get out from it, and personally, with my experience, I experienced it because my beliefs were very different from what I was just 20. And then when I came at this stage of my life, my belief was still stuck with that. And that's where I started struggling in my life. And I thought it was my personal life where I was going through a bit of hardship. And thanks to pandemic, it was pandemic. And I always loved motivational speakers. I always inspired Oprah Winfrey. I used to listen to her programs a lot and read a lot of her books. And then I started reading a lot in pandemic because there was nothing much to do, and started listening a lot of motivational speakers. And then life took a turn in my journey, in my life. And I thought, I need to speak to someone. And definitely, as a medical professional, you were spot on there that I did not want to go to a counselor or a psychiatric or anything, but I knew I need help. I really knew that I need help. I need to speak to someone. And that's when I started looking for coaches, and then that's the journey. When I was getting coaching done for my own personal life, I started studying coaching because it inspired me so much that I thought, oh my God, as I always had a hunger to serve others, I wanted to serve people. And I said, my goodness, this is a great way of serving other people. I'm pretty sure there's 100 other people who are going through this, but they are sitting in their inside it's eating them, but they can't go for help because they work in such an industry. They can't jeopardize their whole professional. I thought this is the way it is. And then I realized, oh, this is why I was acknowledged by this colleague. I was coaching them. I didn't even know I was coaching them. So that's where my journey began in coaching, and it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot to get to where I am, and it is a continuous journey. And even if you have a bad day, you just want that safe space where you can go and vent it out.
Yeah.
Someone who's not judging you, someone who's just listening to you.
Mm. Mm.
And that's what as simple as you can put coaching as.
And it really is. I think that's the thing. I think a lot of us can think, oh, it's going to be such a long journey to get to a point where I feel like I'm more empowered in my life, or more happy, or really having that sense of autonomy and control over my path and journey. But it can be broken down to be more simple than that and straightforward than that. And we want to move out of that space of, when this happens, when I achieve that, when these people around me change, then I'll be happy, then I'll be fulfilled. We need to move out of that paradigm and into the one where, in this very moment, when this moment lasts for as long as we live, I'm happy.
True. It's the core value of your own self, because no matter how many branded bags you're going to buy, no matter how many branded cars you're going to buy, no matter how many branded clothes you're going to wear in a crowd, you will never be happy unless you're happy from within. Because your happiness is not decided from outer world, it's from within. And the only way you can be happy from within is when you want to start listening to your own self. You have to listen to your own self. You have to believe in your own values. What is your purpose at the moment? You have to be aware of that. And that's the only thing which will make you happy. No matter how, expensive friends you're going to spend your night in a restaurant or whatever it is, wherever you're in, whatever you're going to do, there's nothing can change your happiness unless you yourself can start believing in yourself. And the only way you can start believing in yourself is when you're going to start taking care of your own self. Things like coaching to realize what my values are, to realize what is my purpose. Why am I waking up in the morning? It's not just going to work and clock in and get paid. What is my purpose? Why am I going there? So you have to find that happiness from within. It's not a rocket science that you have to go and do it in order to find that. It's just a matter of taking time out for your own self and just listening to yourself. Just sit quietly and listen to your heart, what it's saying. Listen to your mind, what are the thoughts coming in there, rather than thinking, oh, she posted something nice on social media, so I should do that and I'll be happy. No. The happiness will never come from
the social media me looks really happy, so therefore I should be happy. Why aren't I so happy?
Yes, I think that's what the trend is starting. It's not that the person who's posting on the social media has got a jolly good life always.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Everybody has
seen evidence of that as well. So when we look at, you've had the roles of dental assistant and currently dental hygienist, and we're also looking at, OHTs and dentists and other people within the profession. What do you see as some of the challenges that they do come up against that coaching could really help them through?
That's a really interesting question, because that's what has pushed me to do this. As I've mentioned before, that I'm almost 2 decades in this industry, and I have seen most of the type of people I've worked with, because I work from a DA, from a reception to a specialist. I've worked in a very wider range and I've seen everything. It is very interesting to see, especially these new graduates, or even people who have already graduated and worked so many years in dental industry. They are so nicely armed with their knowledge, like them jam-packed with the textbook knowledge of dentistry. There's no doubt about it. That's why they graduate and get registration from APRA. But unfortunately, there's no EQ education is, emotional education is taught in universities, unfortunately. And when these graduates, they qualify and come out, in the real industry, yes, your textbook knowledge is very important to do procedures and treat your clients in the chair. But you also need that emotional education, your courage, your belief, how confident you are to deliver that. No matter how good you are with the textbook knowledge, but if you don't know how to communicate with your client, or you don't know how to communicate with your colleagues, it is a struggle. it's a big struggle. And I see so many staffs are struggling with that. The communication skill is the biggest problem in the industry. The second thing is they don't have courage to say, I am confident enough to do this. So they don't have confidence, and there is no confidence because there is no belief in themselves, and they don't have courage to say, I am confident and competent enough to do this because I'm graduated with this knowledge. And this is the struggle I see a lot, because if they know how to communicate, if they know how to speak themselves out and say, I am confident enough, I graduated with this skill, this is what I have learned, and I can do this procedure, then life will become easy for them rather than somebody controlling them what to do. Because every individual is unique in their own way. God has gifted amazing talent to every individual. You need to find your own authenticity, who you are. It's not that my colleague is, okay, if they have 5 years experience, they're doing it this way, I have to do it that way. It's nicer to observe them. It's nicer to learn some tricks and tips of them, but make your own authenticity ways of doing things, and you'll enjoy doing that more because you owning it. It's your skill, it's your knowledge, it's your way, rather than remembering how did somebody else did it.
Yeah, that's it. And all you're then doing is copying somebody that has probably the same training originally that you got, but then their set of experiences and what they've chosen to study further in, where there's a whole further range.
All new. And when you graduate as 5 years after, you actually got more new knowledge, which the one who has been working for past experience, yes, they've got great experience. There's nothing against them. They've got beautiful experience, but they still have to upgrade their knowledge to come to your standard. So you have to have that confidence to say, yes, I know this. I have this confidence to do this. And the biggest challenge is that's where it comes that, oh, that person experience, I don't know how to do it. And that is only due to the self-belief and the courage they have.
Yeah. It is such an area that's rife with, when you think about new grads, when you're thinking about particular professions within the profession, it is rife with the whole, depending on which practice that you go and work with, some practices, the practice owners and the kind of the senior members of their practice will be embracing all of the new skills and characteristics that this new person brings into play and sees them as part of their learning and professional development. And so provide them with a whole bunch of opportunities. But then there's the other end of the spectrum where they're told, no, you're going to have to be smothered down. Your learning has to be limited because this is the role I need you to play in my practice.
I think that's where you really need to stand on your feet and say, is this clinic serving my purpose? Is this aligned with my values? Is this aligned with my goals? Is this aligned with my purpose? Because you don't want to bury your authenticity in and then start copying other people, because then you are not living your own life, your own purpose, your own goal. You're just masking yourself, changing yourself to please other person. So pleasing another person is played a lot here. I believe in that stage of life, because they think, what if I'll lose job? What if they don't like me? I think those are the things play a lot. So I think that's where you really have to start thinking, is this workplace aligns my value?
You've really raised an interesting thing. I think it would be very common, regardless of your level of experience and tenure in the industry or in the profession. Someone told me off once before, it's not an industry, it's a profession. I'm like, okay, I'll make sure I say profession all the time. But that whole people-pleasing aspect, because we have to please the patient, we have to please the dental assistant in the room, we have to please the receptionist, we have to please our boss. It's such a people-pleasing space, isn't it?
I believe it's a very it's not a right belief system that you should have when you're working at a place. No matter what profession or what industry you work in, you have to hold your own authenticity so strongly. People who's going to be aligned with your values, with your purpose, will work with you very nicely and in peace. And people who are not, they might part their ways. So people pleasing that's where you feel guilt, that's where you start pulling yourself, your confidence down, because you have to be certain way in order for someone to save you. I believe personally that every individual in an industry or in a professional field are educated and are employed for their job title and job description. And everybody should say their job title and jobs descriptions very, faithfully. There shouldn't be a people pleasing for me to be nice to my nurse to do what she has to do. Yeah, I am a nice person. Generally, I'm a nice person, but I don't have to be a people pleaser for you to serve me or my client.
Yeah, yeah. How has that shift in you? I imagine when you first were graduated as a dental hygienist, that you may have still had some of that, and part of your evolution has been moving to a different mindset. How has it impacted your career, your level of happiness turning up to work every day?
It was a challenge. It was the biggest challenge I started. I started at one job where I was always, I was fortunate that I always had confidence to speak up, which was a very nice gift I had naturally. But when I started my first job, after even doing DA for 10 years, when I started as a hygienist, I had a struggle because I could not voice those things out. What I've pointed, I thought I had to be people pleaser. I have to work like them, otherwise I'll lose my job. This is my first job. All these things were coming. I used to cry to get up to go to work in the morning. I used to hate it. Go in the lunch break. I used to go in the car and cry. Oh my God, another 3 hours to finish. And then I thought, that's not it. That's not it. Let go that job, was without job for a week or two, started temping as a DA and found this new job. And in this new job, I went with a mindset of, that's it. I am who I am. If people like me, will like me. If people don't like me, will not like me. I love who I am. I'm just going to serve the way I am. So when I went for my interview, my practice manager, she told the whole team, she's going to put fire in everyone's back because watch out who's coming. But it was an amazing feeling. When I started the job, 90 to 95% of auxiliary staffs didn't accept me because all other hygiene department staffs were basically people pleasing, listening and bowing down to what they were told. But I went as a person, no, this is what I want, and this is how I work. And this is the support I need.
Yeah.
And my dedication and my passion to serve my clients was there because that's what I was there for. And I made it very clear that I'm not here to please anybody. Yes, I'm an individual. I'm a human being, and I will say thank you, please, and this and that. But don't expect me to beg someone to do something for me because that person has got their own job title and I have my own job title. I'm here to serve my clients and do my job to 110%, and I need this support. It took good 4 months for the auxiliary staffs to accept who I am, and even all my colleagues in the hygiene department to accept who I am, and then they started doing what I started doing because they could see it can happen. It's possible.
Yeah.
You don't have to people please and drain your energy because you need enough energy to do your job. Why do you need to invest extra energy in all those things?
Yeah. And the process of it taking a little bit of time, that is the case, isn't it? Because it takes time for you to build that level of authority and have them see what you're doing and then start to see the results and the outcomes you're achieving, thinking, oh, she does know what she's talking about. And that building of respect. A lot of people move around saying, I demand respect and I demand you listen to my way instantly right now. You should have faith in what I'm saying. No, it's a bit of a journey, and to accept that it's a bit of a journey.
Yeah, it doesn't happen in a day, and you don't have to become rude and authoritative. You actually don't have to do anything of that. You just have to hold your ground and be confident of what you're doing and what you expect the support to come to you. And it is a journey. You have to be persistent. There will be times where your patience button will be pushed, but that's when you have to be comfortable of what you're doing. You have to hold that authority that, no, this is how it works. You don't have to, yes, you have to mold in the system and the style of the practice because every practice is different. Their ways of running is different, but that really doesn't mean that's different from people pleasing. That's very different from people pleasing. It's very nice that you go and you mold yourself into the model of the practice because every practice have different models. And that is very important when you go for a job interview, that you know the practice value, the purpose, the goals.
Yeah, Absolutely. And this is so crucial. The matching of values, it's something that we had no awareness about really a few decades ago.
True.
And slowly it's kind of come into play because it's been evident of how important that is. And the responsibility is not just on the employer to try to find somebody who shares the values of the practice, but it's up to the employee as well, or the applicant for the job, to ask those sort of pertinent questions in the interview process.
Very true, because that's where the mismatch happens and then everything happens. Because if you really are going with the hope of, oh, I just want a job, and the employee is, I just want a staff on board, the journey from there doesn't make it easy at all. So I think it's very important that it's laid on the table very nicely, that this is the values of the practice, this is the purpose of the practice, this is our goals, this is our model, this is how we run the show here. Is this something which aligns with your values? And as employee, you have to think of that too. Is this something which is aligning my value? Yes, maybe it's a very nice practice to work in, or it's a very nice pay, it's very rewarding. But am I going to be happy here doing my job? That's important to know.
Oh, yeah, because otherwise you are waking up every morning going, oh, my God, not that place again. Life is too short to wake up every day and not be doing what you love, which brings me to another headspace that I've become a little bit more aware about over the last year or so.
Yeah.
That with the minute you study 4 years for your role in a profession, for us, we're talking about practitioners of dentistry, you may, once you're in that role and have been working in that role for months or years, or things change over many years, and all of a sudden you find yourself not getting that sense of satisfaction, and it's your profession itself, it's doing the dentistry every day that you're finding a drain on your own self. And therefore, it ends up being a drain on your relationships that you have in your family and all the things. But there's this belief that, but I've studied this and I've done it for such a long period of time, I have to continue doing it. What are your thoughts around, and it would be such a case-by-case basis, but can people learn to re-love their industry again, or is it time to get out?
Of course they can. Of course, it has a ripple effect, vice versa. Your professional life can affect your personal life, and your personal life can have the impact on your professional life. It can be changed, yes. And again, it comes down to your values. Because if you are not aware of your values at this stage of your life, even though you have studied 4 years, say 4 years, everyone individual is, even say you studied 4 years, you graduated, you started in this industry, and you come to a stage where you just can't be bothered anymore. That's when you have to pause and realize, did whatever I have studied, what was the reason for it? Is it the purpose I studied that? Is that what I want to do? And I think it's awakening of your purpose. I'm pretty sure an individual will have a purpose or an interest to study something. For example, me, I went and did coaching on top of my dental profession is because I have a purpose to serve people. My inspiration, my hunger to serve people. Every individual have that purpose in them, within themselves, which they have to look at it. And if the purpose is aligned with your profession, then of course you'll start loving it. Yes, there were some things happen at work, some situations happen at work that has put you off. It happens. We are human beings, you just start hating things or not liking things because something happened. But that was that moment. You have to step ahead of that and think, why am I here? Am I serving my purpose? Is this the value of my life which I'm aligned with? But yeah, there will be certain percentage where they just did it for the sake of it, or they thought it was an easy journey. Then they have to find the purpose they want to serve. But most of them, yes, they love it. As I said, when I started dental hygienist at the beginning, I hated it. I thought, day was stressless. Go and work. Everybody loved and appreciated you. You got paid at the end of the day and sleep peacefully at night. It was. But then I had to, those moments of me having, teary moments and coming home, looking at my kids, thinking I studied so hard. Is this what it is? No, it can't be. And that's when I realized, what is the purpose? Why did I study hygienist?
Mm.
And then I went with a different, mindset to start my new job, and I'm loving it. I'm actually loving every bit of my hygiene job. And I have made it very clear, even to my dentist who I work with, that if you come in my room, this is my queendom.
Queendom.
You need to respect my area. Don't tell me I'm a new graduate. This is how things are done, because I got my knowledge. I'm not sure if I'm not sure, I'll ask you, and you can vice versa, share your knowledge with me, but don't rule me here. This is my space. This is my purpose. This is my value, and I'm loving it.
Fantastic. You talking about that relevance of purpose makes me reflect over our past conversation that we had. And because I think you've been doing some marathon training and things. So this is a good example of it, in the sense of, you'll tell us about the purpose behind doing your marathon training. And without that purpose, then all you've got is the pains of turning up to training every day. And if that ends up being the thing that you're concentrating your efforts around, the pain of doing the training every day, then very quickly you will lose all enthusiasm around it. But the thing that allows you to embrace all of those pains is the higher purpose of getting through that marathon. Tell us a little bit about that.
Exactly. So I wake up every morning at 5. I hit gym at 5 a.m. So obviously I have to wake up at 4:30 to prepare myself to get there, right? At 5 o'clock. Otherwise, my coach makes me do 10 burpees. How many minutes I'm late? 2 burpees per minute. So I can't do that. But my whole purpose is I want to inspire people. When we have kids, we tend to say, oh, our body can't do it. Oh, I'm 30 or I'm 40, I can't do it. It's not meant for me. For my whole purpose is anybody can do it. That's what I want to inspire the world with. Anybody can do it. If a marathon runner at 103 can finish a race, why can't you? Some people have issues, or my body is worn out, or I have a leakage problem, or I have this issue. It's just an excuse. That's what I wanna tell out there, that it's just an excuse. There's something called diaper. Pull up your diaper and run. Nobody's checking you inside. That it's just the purpose. What do you want? My purpose is to inspire as many women as I can to get up, be active. You're 50, so what? It's just a number. It's how you feel in your body. And you're the one who can make your body feel better. Nobody else can. Mm-hmm. So every morning I wake up, I do snooze my alarm, yes. And then I think, the second snooze I do, and then think, why am I doing this? And that outrights everything. My laziness, my tidiness, my body sore, everything is outwritten in that purpose. Mm. My purpose is to inspire more women so they become healthy and active.
Beautiful.
They live their life.
Mm. That level of physical fitness as well, would I be right to say that plays quite a role in how empowered we actually feel, and that whole process of doing difficult things to get better and better?
It just gives you so much of belief in yourself. I find running is very therapeutic, because it's also de-stressing, because it's your own time, actually. When you're busy mom working full time, you don't have time to sit 10 minutes and meditate. I struggle to get that time out. So running is my time, where I catch all my thoughts and I process the whole thought. By the time I finish my training, for example, I'm running 7K a day, I have processed all the issues I have in my brain. And I feel so relaxed to start up my journey, start up my day, or start up my week, because it's very, very therapeutic. It helps you and believe in yourself. Oh my God, I kicked another K today. It makes you so strong. It actually really makes you very strong, and your belief grows within you so much, as well as your patience and persistent. Because anything in your life, if you want to achieve, it needs consistent to show up every day, patience to get there, and then you believe that I can do it. If you have these three things, then there's always a courage to make a move in your life. Magnificent.
I love it. The You're making me think of my husband, Charles, magnificent human being. He's done, I can't remember how many triathlons. I think he did 35 years straight of triathlons.
Yeah.
And so this is, where you're talking about purpose and values and things. And he's a ridiculously busy human being. The amount of projects he's got on at any one time is extraordinary. I mean, he would be up at sometimes 4:30, often 6 o'clock every morning, and he continues working all the way through to 8:30, which is when we have dinner. And he does that 7 days a week.
Same as my life.
Yeah, that's right. Yet every day he will make sure he trains in some way. And this concept of I can't fit it in, I'm too busy, I have too many responsibilities. You got to change the verbiage that you say to yourself. What you're saying is, I'm not prioritizing it higher than other things right now. I'm not prioritizing other things above that. And one thing, all the things that Charles is doing, so many of them are so crucially important. However, he will never place those things above physical. If he needs to train that day, he'll put everything on hold and make sure he goes out and trains that day. So it is, this core value of health is so strong in him. It helps direct how he prioritizes all the other busyness of the day.
So true, because if we start to give ourselves excuse, I'm a busy mom too. I'm a mother of 3 kids. I work full time from 7 to 7. I get home. I leave home 10 to 7. I get home 10 to 7. Where on the edge do I fit my schedule to train for marathon? And marathon is just not a run. You need to train yourself fair bit to get there, especially when you're a mom and you haven't been active for a very long time. So if it's your choice, do you really want to give an excuse, I don't have time to fit in? Or do you really want to do something and make it work? And it's surprised that even, for example, for me, I wake up at 4:30 to do my training at 5 o'clock. I come home while most of the people are now snoozing their alarm to wake up to go to work because I'm home at 6:15. If you can fit that in, I find my whole day is so nicely organized, and I surprise myself every day. How did I manage to tick all the boxes? I did everything I have to do as my professional life as well as a personal life.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. It gives you time.
It gives you time. It's just an excuse that I can't fit it. But once you push a day and you do it, you will find how organized and how much energy you actually and focus you have to finish your day. It gives you time. There's nothing you're cutting off. Yes, you are cutting off your maybe extra 45 minutes to 50 minutes of sleep. But in return, in the evening, you will have a better sleep because your body has worked out. Rather than rolling in the bed for an hour or two, you can't fall asleep. You will fall in the sleep and bed and you will have a very great night's sleep and wake up recharged next morning.
Yeah. And can you imagine there's a shift in mindset about identity as well? You move from someone who I should be doing more to I'm the one that does more. I do what's required. And that's part of the reason why I'm having a happy life.
True. Because remember, I can't remember whose saying was that the people who sleep are the ones who lose. So if you put extra, at least you don't have to wake up at 5 and go to gym. That's not something I'm saying. At least wake up half an hour early, do some stretches for your body. You can do anything and everything. You don't need a high-class gym or a personal trainer to train you to get to that stage. You can use your water bottles to just do some lifts and exercise. Anything that makes your blood circulate. It's just if your purpose and your priority is I want to be healthy, I want to be active, I want to be focused, I want to be energized all throughout my day, then anything can do for you. You don't have to hit the gym at 5 a.m. My colleagues think I'm the crazy one who does that, which I own it. Yes, I'm the crazy one. And I said to them, when I hit the gym at 5 a.m., there's no car park. So I feel good that I'm not the only one.
One of the many benefits of being crazy.
True. True. And you have people who do pass some comments which you won't like. I went to my chiropractor because I sprained my meniscus last year. And then he goes, why running at this age? And then I said to him, what is the right age to run? Is there a right age to run? Then tell me. Then I'll think about it.
That's it. That's crazy.
But there will be people who will pass comments to you, right? But it doesn't mean that you take that comments and then you sit back in your life. There's some people who will motivate you to move and do what you're doing. And there's some people who will, because they can't do it or because they don't have a purpose to do it, will degrade you. But it depends what's your mindset. What's your purpose? What do you want of the day? It's you who make your day. It's you who make your destination. Nobody else makes your destination. It's you. What you do today, the choices you make now, 10 years will be your destination.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. You are absolutely an inspiration. I'm so delighted you're going down this journey of mindset coaching and motivational speaking. You are made for it. Your story is magnificent, and you know, there are so many snippets throughout this conversation that can be memes that go out all over the place. What do they call them? Bumper stickers,
Yes.
car bumper stickers. If there are people out there that would like to contact you and get your kind of guidance moving forward, what's the best next step for them?
So I've been doing this I started 2020, so nearly 4 years I've been coaching. I've done little talks here and there, which is next step for me to go out in public, because I do have few offers to now go and speak on a public forums. Most of them might see me in the dental industry, hopefully. The way to contact me at the moment, I haven't heavily posted on social media or developed a website, is because there was word of mouth happening and I was quite busy within that. But now within few weeks, I will be posting a lot on my social media, and links and all my programs of coaching and inspire, all those things will be coming up. So they can contact me either through my Insta or Facebook, which I think you're going to put it on the description,
in the show notes,
my email address. So yeah, and then slowly I will expose it to everybody, because I was just so busy within word of mouth referrals. I actually didn't have to focus and public myself to take on more. But now I think I'm ready to do this, and I'm so excited that it's growing and people are coming to know me, and I'm getting so many referrals. So yes, they can contact me through my Facebook or my Insta or my email address. I'm reachable on any one of them. And hopefully I will publish my webpage soon, and then that will be exposed soon too.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. And hopefully you'll come back on this program again.
I would love to.
We can hone in on specific little areas and topics. And
yeah, I guess when you start to break down, there's so much to talk, isn't it? There's so much to explain. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I mean, it was a delight to share my knowledge. And all I want to leave, my last message for everybody is, remember, if not you, then who? And if not now, then what time are you waiting for?
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Shika. I look forward to having you back in the future, and all of the congratulations in the world for your path moving forward. I really do encourage people to reach out to Shika. If you feel like, if anything that she has said has resonated with you and made you think to yourself, oh, if I went down a slightly different path, what would my happiness in life feel like? Then definitely reach out and get that next step happening. Thanks, Shika.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, then I encourage you to head over to Amina and my website, dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. You will find all the information that you need if you would like to gain our assistance in helping you and your team achieve great success. We've got online courses, consulting programs, the club membership. We also have a whole bunch of tools and resources that are available for free that will help you achieve your practice goals. If you would like to find out more, you can also email us directly at info@dentalbusinessmastery.com.au. Thanks so much for listening.